In lesson 2, we're going to take this one step further in algebra. We're going to do one-step multiplying and dividing equations now. We did adding and subtracting last, in lesson 1. We're going to review. The goal again is to get the variable by itself. And what we call that is solving the equation. How we're going to do that? We're going to use inverse operations, which means we're going to undo the equation working backwards. Golden rule, we recall. What you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other. So again, this is like a seesaw. Whatever we do to one side, we got to do to the other side in order to keep that seesaw balanced. So in this case, we have multiplying and dividing. We're going to do the same process though. We're going to draw a line down. That's going to show us the two sides of the equation. We're going to box the variable. In this case, whatever's in front of the variable is what we need to get rid of. We need to get rid of that 5. And right now, this says 5 times x. So I'm going to divide, and to show that, I'm just going to draw a line here. And that shows dividing by 5 on both sides. 5 over 5 is 1. So when I solve this, really there's a 1 in front of the x every time, but I'm not going to keep writing it. I'm just showing you that there is a 1 there, but we're not going to write it. It's understood to be a 1. So 1x equals 2, that's solved. To check my answer again, I take out x, and I put the 2 in there, and I see if the answer is the same on both sides, and that's true. 10 is 10. So when I plug 2 in here, it's true. That means x equals 2 is the answer. Line down, box the variable. I divide by whatever's in front of x. So I get 7. To check this, 13 times 7 equals 91. And I'm going to make that a little neater so it doesn't look like a 9. 91 equals 91, which is true. Line down, box the variable. I divide by whatever's in front. So I get negative 1 for 3, 9 times negative 1 equals negative 9, which is true. Negative 9 equals negative 9. So my answer is negative 1. Number 4. Line down, box the variable, divide by what is in front. X equals 3. To check it, 3 times 3 is 9, which is true. Number 5, I divide by what's in front. This time I have a negative 4, so that's what I divide by. I want to get rid of the whole thing. That gives me x by itself, which is negative 7, or y I should say. Negative 4 times negative 7. If we remember our rules, when we're multiplying or dividing, the signs are the same. The answer is positive. So 28 equals 28 is true. Number 6, line down, box the variable, divide by what's in front, which is an 8. W equals negative 8. So 8 times negative 8 equals 64. Negative 64, sorry. So negative 64 equals negative 64, and that is true. These are all dividing questions. Even though they are fractions, this says x divided by 2 equals 5. So I draw my line down, I box the variable, I do the opposite. So the opposite of division is multiplication. I'm just going to show that by putting a 2, the number I want to get rid of, in front of it in parentheses. I don't use an x for multiplication because I have a variable here. I don't want to get confused. This is going to be 2 over 2, which is going to cancel, equals 10. Now to check my answer, 10 divided by 2 equals 5. 5 equals 5 is true. Number 8. This is dividing by 4, so I'm going to multiply by 4 on both sides. Y equals 24. 24 divided by 4 equals 6. And that is true. Number 9, draw a line down, box the variable. It's division, so I do the opposite, which is multiplication. I show that with parentheses. 2 is what I want to get rid of. So I get 60. 60 over 2 is 30. 60 over 2 is 30, so that's true. These are all the same kinds of problems. Number 10. Now this is a fraction in front of a variable. If I multiply that fraction by the reciprocal, it'll make it a 1. So I want to get rid of the 1/2. I'm going to multiply it by 2 over 1, the reciprocal. So 2 over 1 times 1 over 2 is 2 over 2. And any number over itself is really 1. So this is equal to 1. And if you crawl up top, we don't write the 1 in front of all these, even though there is 1 there, because it's understood to be a 1. So 16 times 2 over 1 is 32. To check this, half of 32 is 16, which is true. Half of 32 is 16, so that checks. Number 11, I'm going to multiply by 3 this time. So negative 7 times 3 is negative 21. To check it, negative 21 divided by 3 is negative 7, and that is true because the signs are different. And the last one, we're going to multiply by 4. So I get 32. 32 over 4 is 8, which is true. So if you notice, when you check your answer, it shows you that you're always going to be right.